Hey, we're back.
Here we go.
I'm tired, but I'm not tired.
No, well, I'm not
You know
tired.
why? Because I just came back from vacation.
So did I.
Yeah. I feel refreshed, but I have kids, so I'm exhausted. Look who's
Everybody's
here.
okay.
Look who's here. Who's this
What's
guy
up,
with the
boys?
mohawk?
Brother, I mean, the Mohawk should just give it away.
This
Right?
is
This is it.
my boy Robert Rivani, my favorite Instagram follower right now.
Thank you, man.
Coño, I'm glad he's your favorite.
Yes.
And not say the
Yes.
correct name.
Robert, let our
Kind of fucked up.
let our audience know who you are, sir.
What's up, everybody? Some of you know me as the Black Lion, but it is soon to be the Rivani, the founder. Some of you guys know I've done a lot of the hospitality deals in the city of Miami,
Yes.
whether it's Delilah, Gecko, Catch, Fables, Amara, to name a few.
I don't think it's too shabby, brother.
Yeah, it's not too shabby, but I love this city. Love you guys. Thanks for having me.
No,
Oh, brother, thank you for coming, man.
I'm honored to have you on. I like I said, I stalked Robert a little bit just because of his style, his swag, his business tactics. Hey, we learn from everybody, even though he's younger. Like shit, I can learn.
He had no choice to come
much.
already because you
Yeah.
were getting a little bit over
I
obsessed.
wanted to. No, he's a busy guy
I told
too.
him he needs the Mohawk before I come on.
You imagine?
Fucked it up.
You imagine?
Huh? Is
I-
that
let me
awesome
tell
or
you,
what?
I don't. That would.
You
could
guys
rock
that still
shit.
have hair, you guys make fun of me. And Manny, how was vacation?
Vacation was very good, brother. It was
You
very
and
nice.
Robert share something in common. You guys
Which is
both do some crazy ass fucking vacations.
Oh, wow.
Where'd you go?
You were in.
I mean, I had to pick up my daughter. She was studying in Salamanca, and then from there we took off to Ibiza. So I decided to go and party in Ibiza with my daughter, and
Yeah, that's just
It's a little trailer. That's like going to Daytona Beach, right?
yeah.
so we hit a couple of clubs there, and saw some great, DJs.
You went
That's,
clubbing?
that's what
You
you're
were-
asking.
Well, yes, yeah. We're there.
DJs
David
is what you're
Guetta
looking
and
at?
the whole thing. Yeah, it was fantastic. So
And you, Mr. Rivani, Switzerland?
I went to Switzerland.
Yeah, no big deal.
I just had a new baby, so I want peace and quiet.
That's right, a little lion.
It's a party every single day, so I'm
Oh,
good.
he's so cute too. I know being a new dad and running all the things you do run, it's a little bit overwhelming. I think we've talked about, right?
It's the most beautiful thing in the world.
it is.
Yeah,
It
very
is.
frank.
It is, brother. It is.
I sent him a message the other day. I'm like, "How you doing?" He goes, "Bro, I'm exhausted, bro. Like this is awesome and shit, but I'm fucking tired."
The good thing is, the good thing is that now we call ourselves the modern fathers because we are dads that are participating.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I always say like my father, he's still alive. He's gonna be 90 and he's in great shape.
Kicking ass.
I mean, my father, at that time he wasn't involved. I mean, he had to be working. So I always say that we're modern fathers that are
Yeah.
involved in everyday kids' lives. So you're just starting now. So
No, he's just starting, but he looks like the picture.
Yeah,
that's
no, the guy's
example
good.
of a cool
The
dad.
when you see the hair spiked up like this, you're gonna
yeah,
see what night he
yeah.
had that night with
Yeah,
the
he,
fact.
he has a Mohawk too already.
Oh, okay. You got to
Little
keep the
man-
tradition
Little
going.
man's got it
Rob,
going.
one of the reasons that I did think that you were so cool when I started following you and stuff and what you do exactly is because of the restaurants. Obviously, I've been a restaurant guy a lot of years. Manny's a big foodie as well, owns a restaurant. How did you get started in the game, brother? Like I know you come from realty,
Yeah.
and developing, but like what was your start? Because you're super young, dude. I mean, not young, but young.
Yeah.
What was your start and how did you get started in this whole?
So hospitality kind of happened by accident during COVID. I owned a lot of shopping centers, Home Depot, Sprouts grocery store, stuff like that. So more general retail things. And one day my wife during COVID tells me, she's like, you know what? I'm not going to go to a grocery store anymore. This Instacart thing is too cool. I'm just never going to step foot into a mall or a property. And I'm sitting there like 30 shopping centers like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going to go there, then you're not going to go to the dry cleaners. You're not going to get your nails done at the mall. All the things that you do after a grocery store are not going to happen anymore. And I'm like, what's the one business that won't get affected by COVID, that won't get affected by AI or online stuff? It was hospitality. It's food. Us as people, we're social beings. We want to go out, hang out with a friend, go out for a drink, happy hour, go on a date, do this, that, the other. And there's only one thing I think in human nature is not going to change. We want to drink, we want to party. Excuse my French. We want to fuck.
Yes,
And that online for the most part is not going to happen. So like
combination makes it happen.
and like the one place where that's going to be is
Yeah.
hospitality. Like that's where people like you close a big deal, you do something exciting. What's the first thing you're going to say? Let's go to dinner, let's go drink, let's go hang out.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then
absolutely.
For me, like
celebrate it.
celebrate it.
Yep.
For me, living in LA, it was like living under slavery and martial law. You couldn't go out if you wanted to go out and eat. I would sit here, my wife would be sitting next to me, and if you're not putting food in your mouth, the waiter comes to you and says you need to put your mask on. I'm like, so if the food's not in my mouth, I have to put the mask on. But as soon as the food is down, I have to put it was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And then my friend's like, hey, let's go to Miami for the weekend. People are like partying and having fun. I'm like, what do you mean COVID? LA shut down. No one's having fun. It's like, no. People are like going out. So I go to Miami and like COVID didn't exist. You went from a complete polar opposite lockdown to complete open society. So I said to myself, it's time to sell a decent amount of the portfolio. I sold $100 million of my shopping centers, and I just started buying every single ground floor retail space that was available for this bigger, broader vision of bringing all these hospitality operators into the city and making it something that's exciting and something that Miami really hadn't seen before for the bigger format club, restaurants, and restaurants.
So you sold everything in LA.
But
yeah, not everything, but a decent amount. And I started because I don't like leaving all my eggs in one basket either, where it's all hospitality. So I still had shopping centers, single family homes. I had a house in Malibu that burned down during the Malibu fires. But I said, it's God's plan. Everything happens for a reason, so all good. But the hospitality thing, I was wildly excited about, and Miami just hadn't seen that flavor yet.
But you know what? Before we keep asking the other question, for me, what's fascinating is the sense that how you just pointed out that these things happen, like you say, God's plan, but for a reason. The fact that the first thing happened when your wife tells you, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to do this anymore because I want to go to, I'm going to get Instacart. Yeah. Right. And then the second thing that you have a vision that you said, okay, wait a second, I went to celebrate and have dinner. And then, you get upset because how the rules in California was, which really moved a lot of people from California down to Florida and also from New York to Florida. But I mean, that really, I feel that makes a lot of people, our viewers and everything, which we love to elaborate and show, is how an entrepreneurship and how, one just has to just come up with their ideas and think about something. Everybody, we talk about a lot of people, they went to school, they have their degree on this and that, but it all sometimes just, comes, born from an idea, what happened to you, and the fact of having dinner and you said, fuck this. Right. How am I, went to Miami, you saw what's going on, and then all of a sudden you just clicked and you said, what am I'm wasting my time in California. Let me do this.
Right. Yeah. Like maybe me being a high school dropout, no college degree, nothing like that. Maybe
why is it always that guy that always drops out?
But it's not that. But I want him to elaborate on that. Because that's important.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in this world. Like I consider myself somebody that really likes statistics and trends and being ahead of the curve when a decision is made. Right. There's a lot of people that are significantly more educated than me that always look at just pieces of paper and buck a trend by a piece of paper or what they hear on the news. And for me, it's like that's great, but sometimes you're too smart for your own good and you miss the trend or you miss the boat and the problem. Versus me, it's like I'm starting to see people from Europe saying I'm going to Miami, people from LA, people from Chicago, from New York, like everyone's moving to Miami. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, if you have this huge population coming in and immigrating to Miami, shit has to hit. Right. People need to eat. People need to go to dry cleaning, grocery store. You need those businesses. Yeah. And for the longest time, for good or for bad, because I owned properties up in Palm Beach too before I did the whole Miami expansion. Miami was always known as a city that's busy during the winter and is dead during the summer, and most businesses can't survive, and it's kind of like a vacation city. Yeah. Hey. But I'm like, that buck is gonna that's gonna stop real fast.
Yes.
And we're seeing Miami's the hottest market right now in the country and probably in the world for people coming here, incomes boosting up, corporations moving in. I'm like, look, if you're going to follow anywhere, it's follow the money, and the money's flowing here.
Right.
And for good or for bad, I think anything you bought 3-4 years ago would have doubled.
And by the way, you hit on another one, which is up and coming big time, which is Palm Beach. Right. I mean, Palm Beach is little by little. That's going to be over the top as well. 100%. I mean, is it coincidence that because the president has a house there and everything else? But to your point, I mean, people are following that trend and people are following the money to Palm Beach.
Right. Are they following Robert's mentality though? Because you say the beach was a good deal. You fell in love with the beach. You believe in the beach. Mm-hmm. I grew up in the beach. I agree with you too. But there's other people that say the beach is dead. White locals don't go there. Mm-hmm. Why do you believe so much in the beach, and why are you putting your money where your mouth is and investing in these huge properties if the beach they say is dead?
So, a lot of people.
And your boy says that it's dead. Felix,
Boy's a strong word.
But elaborate on that. Why do you believe so much in the beach?
Look, so I'm not one of these people like some other people that may or may come. They just talk a bunch of shit for the sake of talking it. I've invested over $100 million on the beach, and look, you can't replace the beach. The beach is beautiful. You can't replace it. You can't replace Amman coming there, Bulgari coming there, all these Delano, all these new developments that are coming. Everything has cycles. Miami Beach right now, for good or for bad, is probably at the lower part of that cycle and before it hits the uptrend. Just like once upon a time, Design District was nothing. Downtown was nothing. The good thing for me as a developer is spotting that time, that low point, and coming in and putting all your chips in and saying, I really believe in it. You have so many things that are up and coming and new, whether it's hotels, new restaurants, new residential, that I think the for the good and the bad of what's happening in the beach, it'll turn around. The beach on Lincoln Road specifically, where we're putting a lot of money into, and I'm actually buying H&M on Lincoln Road, which is one of the most iconic properties.
The whole building, correct?
The whole building.
That will be the new Rivani project.
No, that's another building we're buying on Lincoln. Okay. So I own the Rivani, which is the office building that we're bringing hospitality there, a bunch of big brand names.
You're gonna put our new podcast office.
Gonna put our new podcast office there.
Right here, just saying.
But buying H&M, which is arguably the most culturally important piece on that road, is more and more my commitment to that part of the street. So, and I think, look, I've had many conversations with many people from the city, government, politics, that we need more residences on the beach. I think that's the biggest problem we have with the beach right now. It's a come in for the day, leave at night kind of situation. And we need more of a situation where people can have affordable living there, that could walk on Lincoln Road, live there, go to the beach on a day-to-day basis, have nice office spaces to work at, where it's actually a city that people want to live in versus coming for a bachelor party on the weekend or a party spot. Yeah, and I think that's where I'm applauding the city officials and seeing that we really want to be a city versus we just want to be a party town. So I think that's a huge component. And yeah, our business is going to suffer and complain that Ocean Avenue, which was once upon a time a complete and utter shithole for partying and gangbanging and all that stuff, it's a ghost town. And I get it. And I think there has to be a healthy balance between the two. And I don't think that balance is there right now.
Is the city working with you on permitting? I know Miami Beach has always been tough. But you that are opening up these amazing projects, do they work with you on permitting? Do they want your business?
So that's a great question because it's something. So permitting, no matter where you go in Miami-Dade County, is difficult. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's the easiest city in the world and it's difficult. What I will say to that is there's a lot of people that are inexperienced for the first time trying to navigate the situation that don't understand how to navigate it. And while a little money goes a long way, where if you brought on a permit consultant or an attorney to help you with those roadblocks in the beginning, will save you a hell of a lot of time in the long run. So I think that's the key in any business you're getting into, is put away some capital for using someone else's brain to get you through the problems. Because, look, I've owned properties in 17 states across the nation. Permitting is difficult everywhere you go. Now, is the grease trap or Durham a little bit more difficult?
Sure. Yeah.
Of course it is.
We had that topic and it was huge.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're correct on that. I mean, you hire the people that go ahead and handle that problem.
Right.
You know, some expediters that are good at their doing. That's their job.
Right.
So 100%. That's the best thing to do.
Does it help you when you're working with these big celebrities? Because I mean, the restaurants that you've opened, Gecko, you work with Grubman a lot.
Right.
Like, those are big. So, like, do they get more excited if you're actually going to bring some business with these huge names?
Absolutely not. Durham does not give a shit if you're Bad Bunny, Robert Rivani, or John Smith. It does not. Does matter.
With Grubman,
you got to do the grease trap.
Yeah.
Right. How is he working with Dave, by the way?
He's great.
He's good.
He's great.
Good friend of mine.
He's one of the OGs of Miami. My hat's off to him.
Yes.
The Bad Bunny and him opening was one of the craziest things I've ever. We had like 3,000 people. Brickell was completely shut down. Fire department was there. It was one of the craziest grand openings.
40 million or something like that. I saw one of your posts. Something
for
Gecko?
No, we sold Gecko and Rosa Negro. Rosa Negro, there was a combo purchase that somebody bought the two of them, so we sold both of them at the same time for about $40 million. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I have to ask, the Mohawk and the look.
Okay.
He's in the world of millionaires and billionaires, developers, but he's got the swag of an Egyptian king. Tell me about what Robert's look is all about, because the Mohawk is awesome. First of all, you got good hair.
Thank you.
You don't have a little hair jealousy. You still got your hair. Tell me about the Mohawk, bro, because I know you had a little son. He's got
a Mohawk too. So
where did that come from, bro? The whole Black Lion concept. I know it's changing to Rivani now, but Black Lion to me is pretty cool.
What's crazy is during COVID, I couldn't get a barber to my house, and there was no barber shop, and my hair was getting way too long on the side.
I think everything should be called COVID.
Yeah, COVID just changed.
COVID did everything for you, brother. COVID brought everything.
And then I go to my wife. I'm like, "Can you shave the sides of my head?" She's like, "You really want me to do it?" I'm like, "It's not like I'm going to be going out or doing anything for the next few months, so you might as well try." And she shaved the sides of my head, and the Mohawk just like kind of stuck. And
where are you from? Where's your nationality?
Persian Jewish.
Oh, Persian Jewish.
Yeah, I'm one of the rare ones.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, and the whole Black Lion is just, I guess,
it came from not wanting to be like everybody else in the industry that I was in. Like I said, I was a college dropout. I never went to college, high school dropout, started a shoe business to get where I am today. And everyone always said, like, why do you have to do things different? And why are you always the black sheep? I'm like, to name a company, the Black Sheep Investment Group was like, it's not badass. So Black Lion was my favorite animal, and the same thing, and the whole thing came together.
Talk to us about
but all the developers, everybody loves watching the 35-year-old guy walk in the room looking the way I look. They're like,
100%.
No, man.
You create your own swag, bro.
I will say this. For me getting getting through the hurdles that I did. Like, imagine corporate America when I owned shopping centers, and I dealt, like, it was a nightmare. People are like, who the fuck am I dealing with? Even when I buy some buildings now, people like, they put me on like boards like, are we really selling a property to this guy? And it's a struggle sometimes, but that, for me, like, that's okay. And I want to always tell people, especially coming out, like, believe in yourself and believe in your brand. Don't give a shit what people have to say about you. Always be respectful and approachable and honorable. Don't be outlandish, but express yourself. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about any brand.
But you know what? You're saying that right now, and it just, I feel like in Miami already, people are over that. Because I think that we've seen, Miami has evolved and seen so many stuff that, anybody that comes into the door now, you take them serious, however they look, or, sometimes the ones that come with the whole 3-piece suit are the ones that are the worst ones. Remember, the old saying was you would dress up like that to go get a loan in the bank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then now everybody, that doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Now maybe the bankers like this look. Oh, wait, this is the guy. I like the guy with the mohawk. In Spanish, they'll tell you, este es el tipo con el billete. That's the guy with a billete.
Talk to me about South of 5th. Is the beach your main focus right now? Or what about the candlelights and the Coral Gable lights of Miami? Anything in the future?
Our backyard here in the game.
You might want to be interested in Coral Gables. Can anything draw your attention that you might look for?
So going to Miami Beach for a second. Miami Beach, without a doubt, is my biggest focus right now because of the Class
Number one.
X. Yeah, we're doing this project called Class X by Rivani, which is the first of its kind office project that's mixed with, like a hotel style feel, luxury condo style feel.
Right there by that old red steakhouse, right?
No, that's on 17th. This one's on 17th in Michigan. Okay. And we're putting in a bunch of huge brands in there that we'll be announcing very soon. That's going to change the entire landscape of Miami Beach from an office perspective, hospitality perspective, and health and wellness. And that's the fun thing about the building. It's checking all those boxes within one building. But I had a dream a few years ago about making South Point Road and Ocean Drive south of 5th becoming this hospitality destination. So I own the Red Steakhouse. I own where Gaia's going next to them. I own One Ocean, where we just did that OCAP caviar deal at $175 a foot. And then putting Catch as well. Yeah. So I'm calling it Restaurant Row to make it become the most iconic hospitality destination for luxury, at least south of 5th.
That makes sense.
Luxury.
Yeah, it's definitely luxury. I mean, the rents that people are paying there and the kind of clients we're getting, it has to be luxury. For people at Continuum or those buildings that are there, they want luxury.
Yeah, the Opry and everybody there, whole area. I mean, but you're there near Prime 112, you're near everything else there too. So it makes sense. It really does make sense to be the luxury area. Right. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you walk in there, you got to take out your wallet. Boom, done.
Yeah.
And your liver. But.
And
So what do you say? What do you say to the haters and to the people that talk about Miami being dead? This summer was brutal for a lot of restaurants.
Right.
A lot of just Herba just closed recently, last week, which is right down the street here in the Gables. Like what's the mindset with you and you guys when it comes to that? Because it's kind of negative vibe for the summer.
Ooh, we're gonna get into the deep one.
But
because
who in specific is saying that is dead?
We had Felix on here, and Felix is Vendor Sky. He was on here talking about, that summer's been brutal. There's all these closings. It's tough to come into Miami.
Right.
Although there is opportunity. You say different. You say it's what?
So Miami hospitality is evolving. I'll say to that. But this is the most important thing for people to listen to. Never try to take advice from somebody that is giving you a used car salesman pitch of Miami's failing and restaurants are horrible, but if you're interested in opening up a restaurant, DM me. That's kind of an oxymoron to me and is misguided. With that being said, I think a lot of the things that, people say about, make sure you know what you're doing with permits and getting second-gen restaurants and grease shops, I think that's educational and wildly important and smart.
Yes.
But you can't say the Miami hospitality industry is dying when we have 10 of the top 50 highest-grossing restaurants in the country. Whenever, businesses are opening up left and right, and some of the nicest restaurants in the entire world are coming and planting their flag in Miami being the first location in all of the United States. I challenge somebody that says Miami hospitality is dying with the following. Go on LoopNet, go on Crexy, go on CoStar, any leasing platform, and you show me how many vacant second-gen restaurants you see available. I guarantee you won't see more than 5 or 10. And if they are, they're going for key money. They're going for big numbers. I think people have unfortunately forgotten that restaurant industry, even before the COVID boom, was one of the riskiest industries in the entire world. Right. Restaurants are difficult. 90% of restaurants fail, I think, within 12 or 18 months. I think that's the statistic.
Yeah.
And for all of a sudden, where people saw some of these big brands Grutmans. They saw their numbers and said, "Oh my God, restaurant."
You guys, whales like you come in and
Yeah, they saw restaurants. Oh my God, they're crushing it. They're doing 30 million. I can do too. And and some of these people have never been in the restaurant industry before, but they think that they can do influencer marketing or put a celebrity there, and that's going to be the business.
Correct.
And that to me is completely silly and outlandish. Would I bet on the big operators that have done this for 20 years and have multiple locations around the nation versus the mom and pop that does it one time, that wants to hire a GM and trust their future on one GM to run their business? I think that's foolish.
Yeah.
So I think the restaurant industry is evolving. We have a lot more competition than we had 3 years ago when COVID first happened 4 years ago. But for this whole outlandish thing that Miami in hospitality is dying is complete nonsense. Check the facts. Check how many restaurants are actually doing well, how many vacant listings there are, which there are very few or none. And I challenge this to Felix or anybody else. If there are vacant restaurants that are selling and the owners are suffering, I'll buy them. I'll take it off your hands. I'll take care of the leasing. But no one's doing it. No one's selling. Nobody's trying to get out because they know the real estate's hot as hell. So I think that's where the overall trend of hospitality is going currently. And I think it's going to continue to boom and continue to do better.
what would your advice be if you're a mom and pop or an owner that wants to open up their own spot? Like, what would you suggest them to do, or how did they get started?
Is this a first-time restaurateur? They've never opened up a restaurant before and just has capital, or someone that has like a food truck and wants to move to a restaurant?
That wants to make that next move.
1 or 2 years, and they want to open up a restaurant, not necessarily a sandwich shop, but like a little restaurant.
Yeah, I think for me, if I was to do it, I would do test of concept first in like a food hall. I think those are a smart way to see test of concept.
It sells.
You don't have to worry about waiters, waitresses, front end operations. That's more taken care of, and see if the food actually hits and does well. I think that's the first place to go. And then the second is, I think it's really smart that if you're going to open up your first restaurant, to get a second gen restaurant. I would not go and open up a restaurant from scratch, typically, unless the space has to be unique to a franchise or a brand where you need your own space, which I get. But having a grease trap out the gate that's to code is wildly important. And I think, look, understand expectations of where you are and really run your numbers up front, and don't just buy into the hype of, well, the market's doing $1,000 a foot, so I must do $1,000 a foot. Like, really take out your menu. Think about how many customers I can have a day, what my average ticket size is, find out your food costs, your labor costs, and really see if it makes sense. I don't think people take that time to pay attention to it. And a lot of people do this because of ego. Oh, I want a place for my friends and my family and this, and I want to party, I want to drink. Yeah, and then when you do that, and then you look at your bill at the end of the month, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's a problem.
It's not so much of the fact of, not living the dream, but before you go ahead and you want to do the dream of your restaurant, is really, analyze everything and really, cross your T's and dot your I's completely, and knowing to your point, not just jump in and say, I'm going to go ahead and do this restaurant.
Right, and get partners. Like, to me, the biggest thing, some of these restaurateurs that are coming from overseas, foreign countries, they can't come and open up a 10,000 square foot restaurant. I mean, they could, but with having me have done this tens of times, I'm going to get them away from all the traps and the holes that they otherwise, permit delays, build out delays, that we help them get across the finish line. And I always implore them to find a local operator, which a lot of people now do. Like, if you're trying to come from, let's call it Spain to Miami and open up a restaurant, you don't know the landscape here. Find a local partner, pay them a management fee of 3-4%, because they're going to help you from an operational perspective that's going to make you that much more successful. So give a little bit of the skin away, I guess you could say, to get the bigger pop, versus saying, I can do everything on my own. I've done this somewhere else before. I'm a champion. I'm going to make it work. People will fall flat on their goddamn ass.
I mean, listen, that's, you know what? When this podcast is airing, I'm going to put a subscribe, because I'm not going to give this fucking free information like that. Just, I mean, this costs money. I mean, this is at least a $200 entry fee there at, to give you this, road to success for a restaurant. I know a few people that have restaurants that would have, love to get this advice before they open the restaurant right now.
Is the real estate game and developing game a cutthroat, or is it kind of like you guys work among each other? Or is it a good, nice business? Or
I mean, look, it's a great business. I don't think it's really cutthroat with other developers. When it's cutthroat, it's like when there's again, the Miami
market called the lion, brother. I mean, come on.
There's a reason why I get buildings 50 cents on the dollar. It's because you have to buy a building right? People always complain, are like, why are rents so high? And I'm buying this Lincoln Road building with H&M at 35% of its appraised value. Once upon a time, this thing was worth $100 million. I'm picking it for $37 million. And other than it being a great buy, it allows me for
hear that out there.
Like, so a lot of people on Lincoln Road complain why rents are so high, right? Or in a lot of parts of Miami. Well, the reason the rents are so high is because the person that owns the real estate has higher property taxes, higher interest because interest rates are high, higher insurance costs, whatever the case is. And people think that us landlords want to be savages by choking out businesses, but that's not the case. We have expenses too. We have bills we have to pay. We have to pay property tax, insurance. We have to do all these things. So you have to buy a property right, so that way if you need to reset rents, I can, because my basis is 65% lower than the guy before who couldn't reset rents.
Right.
So I think that's the important thing for a lot of people when they're getting into the development game is buying right. Again, a lot of people buy, I joke, but they buy a lot of real estate with other people's money. They don't give a shit. I buy all my real estate with my money. No partners, no investors, no nothing. So when people buy these buildings for certain prices that make no sense, they don't give a shit. They're making their management fees or asset management fees.
They got a broker fee or something.
Like broker fee. Yeah. But then the underlying real estate suffers. They put in these businesses that last 6 months to 1 year that can't afford the rent, and then they fail. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
So I think it's like buying right and finding the right developer partner.
Talking about partners and people learning from you and your experience. I seen some couple intern videos that you guys do. You're posting that I saw. It's some funny that the interns, they have mohawks and stuff. It's funny, but at the same time, like, what's your advice to some young interns or entrepreneurs that are like follow your steps and kind of want to follow your path? Like, what would be the best advice? You know what I'm saying? Like when did you make your first million? Like, how did that go?
We got to get another COVID coming.
No, but it's a good question, because there's always, you know, like, where do you see the steps and what do you got to go through to get to where a man of your stature is right now?
So
like,
I think I made my first million in my late teens, like 18, 19 years old.
Fuck yeah.
Swear to God.
What?
It was buying a shopping center. It was a shopping center I bought for
$6. Shopping center at 18, bro.
A guy that sold a Jordan shoe company for $250,000 and wanted to invest it somewhere. And it was,
oh, wait, so it came from shoes.
Came from shoes, yeah. And for me, what I learned at a very young age is if you want to make money, do the opposite of what everybody else is. So if everybody else is investing in Miami right now because it's the hottest market in the world and there's hundreds of millions and billions of dollars pouring in here, you think you're going to invest in Miami out the gate and make it? No. Go to the areas that are the secondary, tertiary cities, Tampa or Fort Lauderdale, or go to the markets that are kind of off the beaten path but are still getting that wave. So when I bought my first property in Atlanta, I bought the thing for $50 a square foot.
Oh, what age was that?
That was like 18, I have 19 years old.
Oh, I think it was fucking... What was I doing at 18? Fuck that. Can you edit that shit out?
Let's not put the video.
No, but like, seriously, who the fuck's buying a shopping plaza at 18? Like, is that even like a...
I think, but he's correct.
I congratulate you, don't get me wrong, I'm not down you, but like, what the fuck is that? Explain on that, because not everybody knows about something like that.
So I was in property management, and I did more of like the day-to-day accounting, bookkeeping, all that stuff, and one day I see this guy who was like bragging about making $1 million on a deal. $1 million to me, obviously, at that time was, still now, it's a lot of fucking money. And I'm sitting there clipping 3% management fees off of his gross income of like $500,000. So I'm making $1,200 a month. And I'm like, if I make $1,200 a month for the next 75 years, I may be a million. And like, it hit me at that moment, like, I'm in the wrong business. It's important to get the education and the fundamental understanding of how this business works. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, that's the advice I give to everybody. Get educated on what you're going to do first. Don't just watch these stupid fucking influencers and their memes and you can join my masterclass for $999 and be a genius in 60 days. It's stupid. Go work for somebody for 6 months, a year. Really understand the goods, the bads, the uglies, and then get into the industry. So I had the blessing of being in property management, so I understand how accounting worked, how management of tenants, how to handle roof leaks and tenant relations and all that stuff. And when I started learning about development and all you had to really do was be a glorified salesman of real estate, I said to myself, okay, well, where's the market during the 2009-2010 crisis? So yeah, it was actually 15, 16 years. So I was about 20 years old. This was in LA. But everyone in LA was still, like, LA back then was Miami. It was on fire. It was hot.
Totally.
So what I did was I went on LoopNet and I just typed in this portion where it said foreclosures REO listing.
Write this down. Hold on.
Yeah, you write it down.
What's the thing again?
You have to subscribe.
HowToBeAMillionaire.com.
You have to subscribe to.
Oh, you gotta.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
No, go ahead.
So I went on LoopNet and I typed in foreclosure listings. Like, there's no need for me to look at anything that's a non-foreclosure because I didn't have the money. I needed to be low price point. I needed to be something that other people were looking at, because at that time, when you have $200,000 to your name, you can't buy a $5 million property. It doesn't exist. And the worst part, when we talked about earlier the banking story, I still kind of had a look, and I was in my late teens. I'm like, hey, bank, I need a loan for $400,000. Will you please give me the money? And I want to buy a shopping center. And this is the best part. The shopping center was in Fulton Industrial, Atlanta.
Jeez.
Wow.
It wasn't even in LA, my neighborhood. It was in the middle of nowhere land compared to where I was. And the property was developed for like $2 million. The guy let it go to the bank, couldn't because of the whole crisis, and I picked up for $600,000. I had a Dunkin' Donuts, two vacant spaces.
So you were thinking, I want the shopping center. I don't want the store. I want the shopping center.
I want the shopping center. Yeah, 100%. Because for me at that time, like I was very good at understanding finance, and I told myself, well, if I can lease up 2 spaces, and there's something in real estate called a pro forma where you're saying, okay, I can get these rents, and if I get these rents, the property's worth this much at the end. And all I had to really do was lease up 2 spaces. So I kind of, from my shoe hustle where I used to sleep on sidewalks at Nike Town and buy shoes and flip them for double or whatever it is, I said to myself, well, if I go knock on every single door in the neighborhood, and since I'm buying the property so cheap, I can offer the tenants a rent that's probably half of what market is, because all these people that own it at this value.
Yeah.
So I knocked on every single door, and I had this trick of like, whatever your rent is, I'll cut it in half, just sign a 5-year lease with me, and I'll pay for your moving costs. And I was able to convince the bank to say, hey, if I bring you new tenants and I stabilize this property, will you pay for that moving cost? Will you pay for the broker fees and all that stuff? And they said, well, if you can lease the property up where no one else was able to, it's called in real estate good news money. I'll fund all your good news money as long as I have a signed lease from a qualified tenant. So I ended up getting Jimmy John's, a dental office, and Dunkin' Donuts to extend a longer-term lease. I painted the property, made it a little bit more beautiful, and I sold that property for $2.2 million, netted about $2 million after brokerage fees, and I was into it for only like $700,000.
So you're under 20 years old.
I'm under 20 years old.
But you know, the great thing about this story for me is it really falls in line with what we do here, because you know I started the conversation with you. I told you, you got the people with the fact of the degrees, and I'm all for it. I'm all for the people to go to school and get the degrees. But I always say, and we say here, a staple for us is after you graduate, you can get your, Wharton, master's, you can go to Harvard or whatever. But there's another thing here, at least for me, is your FSU, which is not FSU. For me, it's Flagler Street University. You have to get the street smart. You got to get a master's from the street, brother, because, and you just proved that point in this conversation, because and that's what we love to show our viewers, because it's not only about the fact if you're going to get your degree, you don't learn this like that. Right. What you have just said really has to inspire so many freaking people, because at the end of the day, I mean, at 18 to make your first $1 million, but it's I hate to say it, it's common sense. Yeah. Sometimes you just putting your brain to work and saying, how can I do this? I mean, you studied something, but you put that practice into play, right. So you, not only did you, you're preaching, but you're also going ahead and acting out what you learned, in the sense of, that's, for me, that's an incredible, we love these stories like that. And it's not, for me, not so much of what you're doing now, but what you just explained for me really is going to make a huge difference to a lot of viewers right here.
Hey, I've never heard of it.
They're gonna love that.
Yeah, look, the one thing I try to inspire as much of the young generation. That's why I started social media in the first place, was to help a lot of people that are up and coming to be able to get to that next step. And the one thing I always tell people is like, look, educate yourself, and if something is too good to be true and sounds like a quick get-rich scheme,
right,
get the fuck out of it. There's a reason why I don't sell, even though I could sell a course and make millions of dollars.
Yeah. You could, by the way, you could.
For sure I could. It's not my business.
Damn Miami can sponsor it.
And like maybe one day that happens.
Listen, I sit down and listen to your course all the time. Yeah. And I don't get impressed that much easy, but I love these stories. Yeah, I love these stories.
The thing is, there's a lot of like millionaire mentors out there. And people fall for it all the time.
All the time.
I get DMs of it all the time. We grow. And this is
it's a
bullshit though.
I gotta go to another question.
Go ahead.
What's harder, selling a $500 million, one of your crazy numbers that you get into, or being a new dad? Because you're a new dad.
Selling a $500 million, whatever the hell you just said. Look, I love being a dad. Don't get me wrong, and it's hard.
Little line. What's his name?
Ragnar.
What is it?
Ragnar.
Spell it.
Ragna. It's a Viking king that inspired me.
He looks like a little Viking.
And he looks like a little Viking. Thank you.
He needs a Viking shirt now.
Tell me how that's been. How old is he?
He's 7 months going on to 8, and he's the most beautiful thing in the world. I have an amazing wife that holds down the fort, so she allows me the opportunity to be the best version of myself when it comes to work. So I'm blessed in that sense. And I always say this to a lot of people, especially the young generation that say, oh, having a wife or getting committed, you guys are fucking losers. Find the right woman, settle down and have kids.
Well,
like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
What's the best saying? Behind a good man, there's always a great woman. So it's a better woman. It's a better woman.
It's a better woman. So that's
in another big, just what has been the big, we mentioned a little while ago about, when you left LA.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think LA has learned their lesson, or is LA still, still dragging its feet a little bit in this situation? I mean, are we still going to get a little bit more of people LA coming to Miami? I mean, we see it also in New York. A lot of people in New York coming to Miami.
I hate to like I had this as soon as you said that, I had this weird vision that came to my head of like there's a dominatrix situation with a guy that's on like getting lied down and like whipped, and it's like LA and New York continue to wanting to get whipped.
Yeah,
it's like they keep stepping into a pile of shit over and over again. And like, look, a lot of people are bitching about this socialist in New York.
Yeah,
I don't even know what his name is.
I don't know
and I'm sitting there like, Miami real estate's gonna boom. Keep doing it. Good. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like my office building will be full within the next 6 months. All my spaces will be more fun. Like it's like, look, these socialist, Democrat, lunatic, leftist psychopaths can continue doing what they're doing. Just don't bring that shit down here. Like if you want to run away from it, and it's like I think they like the pain. And for the people that want to sit there and pay 60% taxes and pay for everybody else's life, God bless you. Sit there and do it.
When does it get to the point that they say, wake up, fuck!
I've been saying it for years, and I still like. We had the experience of the house burning down in Malibu, my house burning down in Malibu, and I sat there for a second. I told myself, right before that the homes burned down. Every year we have like a Malibu fire, LA fires. It's a constant thing. And this stupid mayor decides to cut funding for the fire department, but then give funding to libraries and to social services and the homelessness situation, which is a horrible situation.
Right.
That even though we're throwing billions at it, it never gets better. It gets worse.
Yeah.
But then let's cut the firefighters and police officers, the people that are protecting us, saving lives.
Especially in California.
Like,
knowing the fires always.
Fuck.
Like, do you still have a home in LA? Any other homes you have? Miami is home for you.
Miami's home for me. I will never step foot back in LA again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which,
it's dead to me.
I hate to say it, it's kind of. I love LA.
It's the best, really good addition to me.
I mean, it is. But I'm just saying, I mean, it's sad because LA is a beautiful.
It's the most beautiful city. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. One of the most beautiful landscapes, beautiful weather. It's a great city, and
from there you can go anywhere. You go to San Diego, you go here, you go. I mean, it's just it's beautiful. But it's such a shame. That's why it was. I wanted to ask you that question.
I want to ask you why now the change from Black Line to Rivani? And this office building, is it like something like kind of stuff they do in Japan where like the workers never go home and they just live in their office? Or is it something to ease their work day and make it nicer? Like, what's the whole concept of that? Because this is all new to everybody.
Right,
I don't know.
Right.
Our audience definitely hasn't heard about an office space.
No, I'm moving the office over there.
That
they can sleep there
some
too.
of the drafting. Can you elaborate on this whole
because
concept?
the people here leave at 3:00 sometimes.
Yeah,
that's the point.
So the reason we're shifting from Black Line to Rivani is it's finally time for us to put our own name or my own name on the buildings that we do versus helping all these brands, which I obviously love to help that they put their names on buildings.
Very good point.
Help promote them. I think it's time for us to come out of that room and to put a building with our name on it, with our future and what we want as a brand going forward. For the longest time in my life going to office, being an office from 7 to 5 kind of guy and thinking this whole work from home bullshit that I never was on board with and don't believe it works at all, you spend the vast majority of the day with your colleagues at work, away from home, away from family, and you're stuck in these cubicles or these office buildings that are depressing, that are lackluster, that are not inspirational.
You don't want to go to.
I don't want to go to it. Like, why would I go to an office building and then force my employees to drive hours in traffic to come to something that's uninspirational if I don't even fucking like it?
Correct.
And I'm all about saving time. Like, if I, and sorry if this sounds arrogant, but like, time has a certain dollar amount associated to every single minute. Oh. And if I'm leaving my office to go to the gym in Miami Beach traffic, which sucks, and I have to spend 20 minutes in the drive, go up to the parking lot, take time, go down, shower there, it's like an hour of my day wasted. So if I can put a gym inside the office building, that was one of the biggest things that we're doing, putting a 10,000 square foot gym with Monarch Fitness, the owners of Toca Madera and a bunch of other brands. So they're opening up a fitness concept as well in our building. And then it's unlimited physical therapy, personal training for a certain fee per month. So you're getting all your health and wellness, cold plunge, infrared sauna, all right at your doorstep. So if you want to go to the gym, you just go one floor down or up, and that's there. the other thing that was important for me is that I want to make sure people have a fun area, kind of like WeWork, but an upgraded version, where if I want to collaborate and work with coworkers, I don't have to work at a cubicle. We dedicated 3,000 square feet to co-working space, a living room, something that if an employee has a meeting,
You could sit in a little place like this and just hang out.
yeah, like I try to think about it from the employee perspective, right? They have an important meeting with a vendor or something. And typically if there's an office, there's one conference room. And if the boss is there or senior leadership is there,
Can't get in.
you can't get in. So it's like you have your own dedicated space where you can show off your co-working space and you can have a meeting there that you're excited about and proud of where you're working. And I think that's an important piece.
That is very important.
For people to be like, yeah, this is my place too. I have pride in where I'm working. And then one of the other fun things is we have a speakeasy that is dedicated to only the building during the day. So like I hate having my meetings like, hey, I'll meet you in my office. We'll have a conference room. And then like that to me is olden days. Like it's now like come to my speakeasy, and in my speakeasy we have liquor cabinets, which I'm sure you guys have seen some of the renderings, where I have my favorite bottle of scotch. I call concierge downstairs, tell the waiter, bring out my bottle of scotch, 4 glasses. I'm having this really important meeting. I want this deal closed. And that's set up ready to go for you.
My partner Ed
Yeah.
would love that
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
I'm
drinking and working.
yeah, it's like, and I know it sounds like, and a lot of people are like, but you're drinking the other day. It's like, look,
nah, it's close
it's
to this.
it's Miami, so I don't give a shit. Like this probably wouldn't work in Ohio, but it's Miami, so people drink during the day. Get a Cortadito and a shot and call
Best
it
of the
there.
deals have been done whether you're drinking in the afternoon.
Half my-
Day drinking.
90% of my deals have been either done drinking, partying, hanging out, vibing with people on vacation. It's like
I agree.
work should be, work hard, play hard to me plays an important role of the building.
Yeah.
But the most importantly, it's creating a building that takes a level of luxury higher than what the norm is in office, which office has not been reinvented in the history of office. Never. So that's why we're calling it Class X, because we're the first person and the first group to do that. But it's also to take it from an employee perspective and look at it how we can make their day-to-day lives more exciting and inspirational versus just the big boss that's saying, I have my big corner office, I'm paying the rent, I want it all for me, you guys are all like
I'm the big
slaves,
dog
come
here.
work for me. That doesn't work. It's for everybody. And I think getting employees excited will then translate to the owners of the businesses to say, yeah, I really do want to put my office here. Like right now we have Apple, Morgan Stanley. We're very soon going to announce this huge tenant from LA that's bringing their entire corporate headquarters here. That's going to change the game of office. So that's pretty much the big picture behind Class X by Rivani.
Going into that building.
Going into that building.
What's that big company? You want to talk about it?
That big company will be Playboy International.
Wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Playboy International.
This is it.
Talk to me about that. Playboy International.
So,
like
yeah.
Playboy?
Playboy will be moving
classy
their
nudes?
headquarters. The company that you hide your magazines from mama and dad.
Yes,
such a thing.
yes,
I
yes.
haven't seen much or heard much from Playboy since Hef died.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
Talk to us about
a big revamp. We're lucky enough to have landed them for a 20,000 square foot headquarters. So it's a huge
Oh,
huge
congratulations,
office.
bro.
Thank you. It's definitely something we're excited about. There's going to be the Playboy photo shoots up there. There's going to be a lot of Playboy events. Everything's back. Playboy is back.
Could we already put in a live podcast?
I told you I wanted a podcast.
Can we do a podcast on that? Can we do a podcast?
Right. Yeah, right. Robert won't pick up my call, but I think he will.
You know, sorry that you're here listening to podcasts, but you can't just say no to the
Wow,
a
Rob.
Playboy photo shoot.
That to me is going to be part of the resurgence of Lincoln Road because you're going to have that new office
that's
there.
awesome.
It's good.
That's-
And that's why
The
my
game
focus
changer.
is going to be over there
Road is so tough. Why pick the hardest one to bring back, bro?
because I'm the
Why
Black
not?
Lion. Who else to do it other than me?
Why not?
Who else?
No, because out of all spots, bro, to come back on the beach and Lincoln Road where everybody just thinks, no locals go there, this happened. You gotta have balls, brother.
Yeah.
Well, but
You gotta have balls.
I mean, Lincoln is still Lincoln, brother.
When was the last time you went to Lincoln Road?
I tell you when the last time I was here for Memorial Weekend.
Was your wife shopping?
Yeah, the whole family. I stayed in the beach, and I did the whole 3 days. I did different restaurants all through Lincoln Road.
Did you see the building?
I know the building very well. I passed by the building.
Yeah. So
You're resurfacing everything, refacing everything. That's a huge
let me say this about Lincoln Road.
Yeah.
I've said
Convince me, bro.
Yeah, I've said to everybody that is part of that city, unless you turn that road into Las Ramblas or you turn it into Champs-Élysées with residents on top of these storefront retail,
I love that.
Lincoln Road won't come back. And it's our job as developers and people like me that have the savvy and the balls and put my money where my mouth is to
Say
say,
it again.
I believe in that vision. I'm going to do whatever the fuck it takes to make sure that's done because it is one of the most iconic cities in the world.
It is.
And if we're just going to sit back and let corporations sit there at their high idle prices and not transform it, we have to take it into our own hands. And that's what I'm going to champion and do is take Lincoln Road into my own hands.
It might be Rivani.
I mean,
the lines there.
you obviously discussed this with City of Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are they feeling about that?
City of Miami Beach is one of the greatest cities, and the politicians that are part of it are completely on board with seeing a revamp and a change of the older ways.
I agree with you on
and
that.
coming back. And
I see this commission a little bit more.
I think
pro.
Oh yeah,
in that
100%.
sense, 100%.
And I'm not the type to come and say, listen, we need to tear down every building and build these 100-story buildings. I'm talking about 8 to 10-story buildings with affordable housing, people that want to live, work, and play within Lincoln Road and
Keep it to a certain level.
for sure.
The charm. And still in the sense, it makes sense.
They keep a little bit of the historic preservation because I think it's cool. But like, look, if a building's dilapidated from the 1920s and falling apart, get this historic shit and it's time to move on.
Yeah.
But there's a healthy balance between new development, keeping what made Miami Beach and Lincoln Road iconic, and it will come back. And it is arguably one of the toughest projects for it to come back.
It is.
Well, you gotta have marbles.
Yeah.
Cojones.
No.
Cojones.
When you make that one happen, I mean that's a book deal. That's a book deal right
You
there.
mentioned to you, we talked about when you're young, when you started, and you made your first million. If you could go back, you're 35, you're in your prime, you're a lot younger than me. What would you go back and tell 18-year-old Robert? Something extra.
Make the million at 10 years old.
Instead of, obviously, you made $1 million, but if you could go back and give him a little advice, maybe some.
What the hell? I mean, he made it at 18.
There's always something.
No, I'm with you. That's why.
What advice could I? No, I wasn't.
He's close to.
The advice I'd give to every single person, even though I didn't, I want them to hear it very clearly. Find the right partner and find the right friends, because distractions will kill you. The partying, the drinking, I made my first $1 million, so I want to go splurge it and go buy a Lamborghini or Ferrari or all that stupid shit. Yeah. If you get in the wrong crowd that supports that and wants to be that'll be the end of you. Thankfully, I had great friends. I had a wife that was behind me, working hard, traveling to all the locations I traveled to, and was supportive. That's what kept me laser focused and that kept me on my game. I see so many people that are smart, but they get into drugs and partying, and just it completely ruins them. So that's my advice: stay focused.
Stay focused.
I'm sure.
I party and have my fun.
Party, but to his point is, you got to party at a certain.
Yeah, like you put rules. Like I never party Monday through Thursday.
Right.
I will not touch an ounce of liquor unless it's Friday night to the weekend.
Here in Miami Beach,
and you know why?
But you see, that's the problem. It's the people.
But I was.
Night party, that was amazing.
But I was.
Yeah.
I was.
My son wants to study business, right? He's probably going to be Ed's intern, Manny's intern in the next year. He knows college is good and all that stuff, but he wants business. I come from TV, worked for NBC, major corporation. If I went back now, I'd rather be a businessman.
Right.
He wants to be business. What do you think? What would be your best advice to my son? To study business. He's already doing externships. He's already focused on owning something, kind of like how you are.
Yeah.
What would be the best one advice, or what would you tell? What is it? Reagan, what's his name?
No. Well, you
Ragnar.
You want to change his name from
Reagan
to Reagan?
Ronald Reagan.
In homage to California.
Ragnar wants to make it.
Right, we're called. My name's Robert. Robert's easy.
But you know what? At least, by the way, you mentioned at least somebody that was good during California.
Yeah.
What would you say for like him, like in high school still, with that mentality?
Yeah,
what would be the best number one advice?
I would tell him, find out what it is you love to do, because whatever job you get into, you have to love it, and then look up to somebody that does it different than everybody else and intern for that son of a bitch. Because if you want to follow the trend of what everybody else does, you're going to be like everybody else. And that's the bit of advice I give to everybody. Try to figure out your edge.
That one guy that's fixed out.
You can learn from that.
Learn from them.
Learn from them. But to his point, then go figure your own thing.
Yeah, because like every single person that's like, and I jokingly say this and I laugh at a lot of residential brokers, you had the big boom that when the TV shows came out, I want to be a residential broker. And then the TV shows of food came out. I want to open a broker. Yeah. Everyone's a follower. If you're going to follow 99% of the world, you're going to be like 99% of the world. If you want to be different and stand out, do the thing that's fucking difficult that no one else is doing. That's what's going to make you successful.
Right.
That's why. Spot for him over there?
We have intern spots.
That's why he has the mohawk. That's why he has the mohawk.
He's Robert, so you got.
That's why he has the mohawk. And by the way, he said something before you asked your question. He said something a little while ago, which is again a staple in the Hispanic community, always from your grandparents, which is "Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres," which is tell me who you're with, who you hang out with, and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was stapled by my grandparents into all their grandkids.
Yeah.
You know, your group of friends is what you
hang out
and who you hang out with,
and how
you want to. So
for sure,
love that advice in that sense.
You got one more for him because I got the top question.
You go ahead with the question.
Don't be
brother.
peeking. You ready to do it?
Oh, you do it.
This question is sponsored by Toast, America's #1 POS system. That was good, right? That was sponsored. That was all sponsored. Like, that was good, Ed.
Great transition.
All right, dog. You ready? This is my
That was
question.
toast.
And this is the clickbait that we want. You're going to look in that camera and give your answer.
Oh, boy.
Give me Robert Rivani's top 3 restaurants
Oh,
in
no,
Miami.
you can't do this
Yes,
to me.
that
You cannot do
that
this
you
to me.
don't own or bought or fucking conquered.
You know what, Robert? Do it.
No, I
this way.
can't. You're gonna.
No.
That's my.
Is that a clickbait?
That's the death threat of my
No,
existence
no,
in the
no. Hey,
restaurant
listen,
industry.
I've been softballing
Don't
you
do
all
3.
day.
Yeah,
Don't
Jesus.
do
My
3.
boy, I've been softballing you, and then I'm gonna get a little heat. Kiko, why are you so nice? And did you suck his dick? No. The hard question.
Where the fuck does that come from?
No, because everybody says, "Oh, he's your friend." He this, yeah, you're pussyfooting questions. This is a hard
All right,
question. for him.
you have to
pussyfooty
ask me by food like by,
No.
you like,
Come on,
it
follow
can't.
me on this. This is the question, and start with number 3.
And what kind of favorite for what?
Where you go with the wife? And the
Can
kid
I
and-
say something?
Okay, but that's
Can I
like
say
different.
something?
There's like fun party spots.
Rob-
There's like go to like.
Hear me out.
He's gonna
Yeah.
give us the bullshit.
Do I'm not gonna give you the bullshit.
No, he is.
Oh, do your top go-tos with your family. That if you got to go to a
Bro.
business deal with something,
Yes,
you would
bro.
go with your wife.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know, I mean,
Come on, Rob.
Yeah, my owner don't know.
Don't say what you own. Nah, bro, nah.
Yeah.
yeah.
No. Number 3.
So my favorite go-to meal on the beach is
This
Avo.
was gonna be number 3 for you, right?
It's Avo Miami from a health food perspective. The food's organic,
What's it
healthy. Avo, AVO Miami. Owner is a
Avo.
rock star.
Okay.
Really cares about his food and food quality. I eat there 3 times a week when I'm at
That's
the
what I
office.
want to
That's-
know.
Avo,
that's-
AVO.
yeah,
Shout out
so
to
shout
Avo.
out to him.
Okay, number
Yeah,
2.
great.
Number 2 for Rob.
Number 2 is God. I love my boys at Mila. They run a great operation.
Yeah,
great food.
They do.
One
You
of
have
the highest-
no affiliation with Mila, right? You just go there.
None. I don't own it.
Okay,
I'm not
yeah.
partners with them.
I'm friends with Chef Michael, by the way.
Yeah,
He's,
Chef Michael's
amazing.
great.
Yeah, he's
it's
great.
it's a great run. restaurant.
Makasi is killer.
Chef Michael
my
just
gosh,
closes the
great.
door when he sees them coming back because that's the point.
My number one restaurant.
Number 1, hold on. Robert Rivani's number 1 restaurant is
I don't have a number one restaurant. I can't like. There's so many. Like I'm a big foodie,
your favorite
so I-
spot.
Mention 4 for number 1.
No. He's got to give me one. That's why I asked you, bro. Come on.
So then we're not gonna get a number 1 from him.
we are. He has one. He just doesn't want to say it.
I can't say number one.
There you go. You said.
I can't say number one restaurant.
So I prefer a slew. I prefer a slew of them than just a number 1.
Say your top at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't be such a developer, Rob.
You know what's crazy is like the past few years since I was in the hospitality game so strong and being at a restaurant every single night. I like home cooking more than anything right now.
Brother,
I know that's a political answer.
brother, come on, bro.
Listen, you want to hear a good
I
point?
need-
We had somebody here go. I want to just say Chick-fil-A.
No. Hey,
Well, I will
Some
say,
guys say
I
Chick-fil-A.
had a Popeye spicy sandwich yesterday, and that shit's fire.
yeah, that's a lie.
fire.
That's a lie. Popeyes is terrible.
No,
That's a
spicy
lie.
chicken
Robert.
sandwiches.
Oh, my God. If you knew what that sandwich had, Rob, give me number 1. Or
Yeah,
let's give
no,
me
I
something.
mean, look, I'll give you a restaurant that I go to a lot.
Here we go.
It's Amara at Paraiso, even though I do own it. Chef Michael Shorts.
Yeah.
It's a great restaurant, beautiful view.
You sneaky.
I own
bastard.
Amara.
He's been my boy for
Yeah, I own Amara. It's one of my
Take
favorite
that because
restaurants.
Amara's fucking delicious.
It's fucking fantastic, beautiful view, great
beautiful
chef,
view.
hometown guy.
Very nice.
legend.
Yeah.
Michael's a legend.
All right, you see, that
The
was
chicken.
great.
Yeah, Amara's great.
Amara Paraíso, that's good. That's good.
That's great. Look, the problem with me is there's a lot of restaurants in Miami that are great restaurants, but everyone's starting to copy each other, and it's getting to a point where it's like enough is enough. And I'm all for the, hey, the menus are getting way too high in price, the service charge. Like me and my wife want to go out. There's dinner for 2 people without one drink. It's $500.
Crazy,
guys.
crazy.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and it's getting rid of the locals and affecting that. So. That hurts me, but like, look, I love the restaurant. Like, I love Rosa Negra, which is my restaurant. It's my favorite
Talking about
Mexican
that
restaurant.
I haven't been invited to Rosa Negra.
I- you-
Your
you-
wife went. I haven't gone.
I didn't go.
Rob, make that happen.
I gotta set it up. You
Set
guys,
it up.
you guys will love it.
Yeah, Denise.
Their food's amazing, great ladder.
No, we tried to call you, but it didn't work.
I've got a little bit mixed reviews on it.
Food's great, party scene's great.
Set me up, bro. I got a hot date. No
Yeah,
bullshit.
Pat, set it up.
Oh, there's.
Pat. That's Pat.
Patrick, yeah, Patrick sets
set
up
it
everything.
You heard it. The lion said it.
Yeah.
Rob, last question. Food halls. You like them or you love them?
I love food halls. I think food halls are a great industry. I think the way that, we had probably too many food halls that were trying to compete as they were all up and coming in some of
We're
the
a little bit,
locations. It's getting a little bit nutty. But I think that for first-time restaurateurs, opening up in a food hall and having proof of concept is wildly important because you don't have the upfront costs, you don't have to deal with employees and all that stuff. So I love food halls. It's a shame that food halls haven't picked up as much as like I'm a big fan of Japan. Food
too,
halls
bro.
there are
Yeah.
huge. Europe,
love
it's
it.
huge. So I think people need to get a little bit more familiar with it. But I love food halls.
Any projects for Rivani for food halls in the future?
We're going to hopefully expand the next Rivani in Coral Gables, which I'm going to go see right after this. So that's
Right after this.
right after this.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Can we call it Rivani Kiko Hall?
Yeah, we can. We're going to dedicate
Brother,
the
if
floor
it's the
to
Gables,
podcast.
if it's the Gables, it's not going to be called Kiko
Say it
Hall.
on camera. Don't say it on camera. Brother, did you have fun?
I had a blast. You guys are rock
Honor
stars.
having you here.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Robert.
and thank you guys for continuously showing, Miami, what Miami's all
For
about.
sure. I had to have you on.
Brother.
I respect you as a dad, as a entrepreneur, as a developer, and now I like to
As
call
a
you
foodie,
Thank you.
as a foodie.
as a friend, the Roberts, baby.
Yes, the Robert.
Thank you so much, Robert Rivani, guys.
Robert. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
brother.
Thank you, guys.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.